Hello friends, welcome to Dr. Ved channel. I am Dr. P.R. Patel, Professor and Head Veterinary Medicine. We have already seen Emphistomiasis Part 1. In this presentation, we will see important topics of Emphistomiasis Part 2. These two topics, pathogenesis and clinical findings. This is an important endoparasitic disease of ruminants. First, we see pathogenesis by adult flukes. The adult flukes they make their house into the four stomachs. Location is rumen. Large number of worms are present in the rumen, and these adult flukes are not much pathogenic and they are harmless. But their presence is harmful because they constantly seed their eggs in the feces and the disease is spread to a wider area. So they are carrier. These adult flukes may cause a focal loss of rumen papillae at the point of attachment of the parasites because they attach to the rumen and they suck the blood from the rumen and they destroy the rumen papillae. So there is focal loss of rumen papillae at the point of attachment. There is superficial hemorrhage at the point of attachment in the rumen wall. This is also observed. These adult flukes may affect bile duct and gallbladder, but mostly they make their house location into the rumen. They are not much pathogenic, they are harmless, but they are pathogenic because they are the spreader of the disease. Here we see pathogenesis of immature flukes. Immature emphistomes is called in Hindi as a jitor or pitto. Remember this name. The farmer call it as a jiltor or pitto. Jilor or pitto. These immature flukes, when they are infesting animal with heavy infestation, large numbers, then they are highly pathogenic because large number cause severe pathogenesis in duodenum and upper ileum because first they will go to the duodenum and ileum. There is severe hemorrhage at the point of attachment. Large number of flukes, if they attach to the wall of the intestine, mucosa of the intestine, what will happen? Severe hemorrhage may lead to anemia. These flukes, young flukes, they penetrate to the muscularis mucosa of the intestine, duodenum and upper ileum. So they enter into the mucosa and they are considered as a plug feeder. They remain in the wall of the mucosa just like a plug and they feed and they plug the intestinal mucosa. Large number of the immature flukes they causes hemorrhagic duodenitis, important pathology. Hemorrhagic duodenitis. Here there is hemorrhage and necrosis of duodenal wall due to deep embedding of the parasites. The parasites are deeply embedded. If these parasites attack on liver, it causes liver fibrosis. We have understood the pathogenesis. To understand the clinical science is easy. There is characteristic persistent fetid diarrhea. That is because immature flukes produce enteritis. So there is persistent diarrhea for a long time, and the feces is smelling badly, fetid odor, and there is constant diarrhea. If the immature flicks are more, there is severe diarrhea. If they are less, comparatively diarrhea is less. Another characteristic is dehydration. Whenever there is diarrhea, there is dehydration. Again, depend upon the diarrhea severity. If the diarrhea is severe, dehydration is severe. There is a depression and anorexia. There is marked weakness because there is loss of water from the body, loss of nutrient from the body. Because of this parasite, there is loss of protein from the body. The animal become very thirsty and the animal drink more water frequently. This is also characteristic observed by a scientist. Frequent intake of water may be two reasons. One, because of the animal there is diarrhea, so there is dehydration, and second, irritation in the stomach. Here we continue the clinical signs. Submandibular edema. This is also a characteristic sign. This is observed in many parasites when there is infestation by other parasites also. So when the severe parasitism, there is submandibular edema. This is also a constant finding. In term, it is called as a bottle jaw. Bottle jaw is a famous term. Now, what is the submandibular edema or bottle jaw? It is abnormal accumulation of clear edema fluid under the skin of lower jaw. This accumulation of water is clear. Clinician can examine by making puncture also. If we puncture this edema with needle, there is flow of clear fluid. Fluid is accumulated under lower jaw. So there is swelling is observed in the lower jaw submandibularly, commonly called as bottle jaw. This edema is caused by reduced osmotic pressure due to two reasons: systemic anemia and hypoproteinemia. Here there is anemia also and hypoproteinemia also. Hypoproteinemia and anemia due to two reasons: loss of protein from the intestine and the nutrient sucking by the parasites. This causes hypoproteinemia. This bottle jaw presents as a cool. The part is cool, not very hot. So it is not an inflammation. It is not an inflammation, it is edema. It is pendulous. When the animal is moving, the water also moves here and there. So it is a pendulous. And characteristic of edema is there is a pitting of swelling under the jaw. When clinician prays this edematous part with the finger, there is a pitting. The pit remains. This is the most obvious under the lower jaw. Clinician can see this from a distance in grazing animals. Now, water accumulate? Here's the reason. Because gravity causes the fluid to pull into the loose tissue. The water has a tendency to come down, gravity. Now why they come down to the intermedullary space? While the animal have their heads down, eating or grazing. So when animal keeps their head down while eating or grazing, this water or fluid is accumulate, edema fluid. So there is submandibular edema and water jaw. Continuation of the clinical signs. There is a paleness of mucous membrane. Reason is the anemia. Anemia because of the loss of nutrients due to damage to the intestine, and there is nutrient sucking by the parasites. So there is emaciation. Loss of nutrition leads to emaciation. There is frequent sudden death in acute cases. I already told you that when large number of immature flukes attack on intestine, duodenum and ileum, it may lead to a sudden death because of severe hemorrhage, severe diarrhea, severe dehydration. And in these cases, death rate in India observed 80 to 90% in severe cases. So this is very much important disease for a clinician. Requested to share this information to other veterinary students. I have worked hard to prepare the video by collecting information from so many sources. Requested to subscribe this channel. Thank you very much for observing this video. Next time we will come with amphistomiasis part 3.